It's time to wake up. It's time to wake up. It's time to wake up. It's time to wake up.
You should never manage things backstage and actually moderate on stage. But I couldn't let this topic go because it's something that's really dear to my heart. And actually, this session has been a year and a half in the making. We've been trying to get these two gentlemen on stage with us, and we've actually finally managed to do it. And it really comes down to an issue about the human condition. Because as humans, we are this creative species. It's what defines us. But we also destroy. And what we destroy actually isn't always a bad thing. We have space for new creation. And this is really, for me, what inspires me about Ro3kvit. I hope I pronounced it correctly.
Absolutely.
And we've got two experts from Ro3kvit with us. And I'd like to introduce you to Oleg, who comes from Kharkiv originally, and also Fulco, who comes originally from Amsterdam, but lives in Kiev. So I'd actually like to know, to start with, tell us about Ro3kvit. What are you doing? How did it start? And what's your intention?
Yeah, it was like a quite epic kick-off of our organization for a meeting where I was invited to talk about Ukrainian recovery after just 1 month of invasion. It was several gentlemen which represented different level of, from municipal level to a national level of representatives. And they asked me how to find a way to, for a very fast rebuilding of new beautiful environment. And I understood, wow, this is quite a risky strategy, and we have to seriously to think about this methodology and maybe procedure how we could rebuild, because all Ukrainian resistance to Russian invasion, it's very important and very serious a choice, civilizational choice. What's a lead for quite a serious amount of values, and one of the sustainability and responsibility and quality of built environment. It's one of the super important part, but it's also about shaping new level of civilization, new level of relation between a people and built environment as well. And that's why we decide that we need to collect brains, all brains from Ukraine, and also to bring a new level of expertise to shaping our dreams, to shaping our future cities. That's why this was like a moment, and all my friend and a friend who we communicated a lot and already started educational and some kind of different project, Fulco Treffers, yeah, to share and joined me in this like idea, and we start developing urban coalition for Ukraine, Ro3kvit.
Thanks very much. And hearing you talk about this, I can imagine it's, as you say, it's a very complicated issue to try to look at existing infrastructure, infrastructure that's being destroyed, raw materials. From a planning perspective, Fulco, you're a town planner by training. How do you take this on, and what kind of projects are you working on?
Yeah, thank you, Dale, for this question. I was already in Ukraine for a couple of years working on complicated projects anyway, on how to rethink the industry, how to rethink polluted areas, how to rethink planning from old Soviet perspective to new, more human-centric perspective. And now this topic of the war and the destruction came on top of that. And we do projects on different scales and try to define pilot projects, and out of that new knowledge and new networks and new guidelines come up to in building procedures or in planning procedures. So we do a project on the scale of almost the whole country, the river of Dnipro, where we will launch new strategies for the country and how to look at that river not only as a source of water for industry and agriculture, but also as a source of water for ecology and green development and emerald networks, well, the topics we talk about here on this event as well. And on the scale of the city, we look mainly at the eastern part of those industrial cities. Mariupol, for example, how complicated that is. And we connect the identity question, the memory question, the trauma question to future-proof, sustainable, energy efficient, but also natural environments. Because Mariupol is a city at the sea, but this is the quality that is always there. And on a smaller level, on the building level, we connect materials, circular economy, all those things which are there in Ukraine yet, but just in the beginning phase, and they can get a huge boost out of those pilots and then into new networks and into new knowledge centers.
Yeah, and look, on this, you see, I guess the news, the media about the war, it's dropped down a level. How do you get enough attention for this important work? Is it hard for you to get the attention of politicians and people who can give you funding or material support in these actions?
In Ukraine, it's not that hard because people are really aware of that this is needed. There's always this competition between what do you fund, what do you finance, and I think nobody in Ukraine will say that this is at this moment more important than financing the army and the military service. But on the other hand, they know that this big challenge that is ahead of us, that they know that this is when the country is free again and liberated fully, then there will be huge challenges in climate, in rethinking, and everybody is aware of that, and everything that we can prepare for that, we can do.
Yep.
At least that's my experience, Oleg. I don't know.
Yeah, it's also what is like an issue of victory. Victory, it's like a building there's like a strategy, building a new society, new communities, new environment. And green agenda, one of the like ethical and technological, becoming quite a serious one. That's why most important to be ready for that. That's why we have to think about, first of all, for professional expert community which could be built such kind of new environment which will be celebrated as a victory and also development of high-level society and city communities.
May I ask a challenging question? What is the vision for Ro3kvit if you are defeated, if you don't win this war? It's not just for Ro3kvit. I'm strong belief that we as a nation, we as a coalition, I mean in terms of also our foreign friends, we're becoming very, very strong, and we will stay. We will have Ukraine as a country. A question of our transformation, it still will be on the table, because we have to build in frontier of civilization. We have to build a very strong, sustainable castle in social and technological point, which will be a position and counterpart of Russia. Yep.
Can I add, because what is very interesting in our work, we as an architect and urban planner, I was never dreaming of thinking about evacuation routes or dreaming about bomb shelters or dreaming about those kind of things. The energy grid, the climate-proof energy systems are actually very much similar to safety issues. So actually what we learn in Ukraine right now can be very helpful also for the European or the US or the whatever, the whole world actually, because this war doesn't stop at the Ukrainian border. So if Ukraine loses the war, then actually the thing that we learn can be reused also in Europe for sure.
Fantastic. And look, as a last, I guess, question to you, if people want to get involved, how can they get on board? What type of support do you need? What are you looking for?
Yeah, for sure. It's to me, it's like a most important thing to bring knowledge and accumulate this knowledge in Ukraine. That's why it's so important look to environment together with the nature, energy, mobility, and all things together. And we need to develop this exercise. That's why institution Ro3kvit, which doing a lot of work for capacity building, a very wide auditorium, and we also in Kharkiv School of Architecture, first independent institution which trainee new agents of change for built environment. This is very maybe important part, but also money, technology, and also possibility starting already pilot project which could be scaling up in the future, but also learning by doing and maybe a possibility to make some mistakes which could avoid in bigger scale projects.
Wonderful. And Fulco, in one sentence, do you have anything you'd like to add?
We can already do something there in the places where it's safe enough. But if people want to invest in Ukraine but not want to invest in building, I do fully understand that. But there is a lot of capacity building. There's a lot of knowledge that we need to develop, that Ukrainians are ready, and the whole network around Ukraine is ready when this war ends. There's a lot of challenges ahead of us, so please help us to be ready.
Thank you very much. Gentlemen, it's a pleasure speaking with you.
Thank you.
Thanks for listening. Cheers.
Yeah, thank you so much.
It's time to wake up.